This conference will now be recorded.
So we're staying here?
We are going there. I think Gene's confused.
I'm confused.
I'm going to your office.
All right. Y'all ready to go? Well, we gotta come into
You guys have a
session.
session.
And it is 5 o'clock, so call this meeting to order. Everyone's being here. Motion to go in closed session.
I'll make that motion.
All right. All in favor?
Second.
Second, I'm sorry. All in favor? All right.
This
Then we're gonna
conference
start
will
again.
now be
So,
recorded.
I'll entertain a motion to end the session for the closed session.
I'll make that motion.
All right, second. All right, all in favor? All right, thank you. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and start now if everybody's here and y'all ready. We'll call this meeting in session. Thanks, everybody, for being here. If you would, please stand and remain standing. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Caldwell, would you honor us, please?
Pray that this meeting is over, all will be safely and return home safe and health. Bless everyone here tonight, dear Lord, in Jesus' holy and precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
We'll have a moment of silence for our neighbors who passed away, Roxanne and yeah. Thank you so much. Please have a seat at this time. I'll have everybody, please make sure you got your ringtones off, and I will ask the commissioners if anyone has a conflict with anything on the agenda tonight, please make it known now. And with that, we'll move on to the adoption of the agenda as it is.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
Okay. Second,
A second.
all right, all in favor? All opposed? Carries 3-2. Okay. Next up is public comment. We have 3 people signed up to speak. We'll start with Mrs. Holmes.
Thank you, Mayor. I have become concerned about the sanding up of the Old Ferry Channel that was previously dredged. And I had hoped we could put a picture on the screen, but I'm told that's not possible during citizens to be heard. So I just made 2 copies of the tax map. If y'all will pass that to the commissioners, and this is the only one I have to pass to the public to show you what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Particularly if the town continues with its plans to put in 9 boat slips. I'm concerned that people won't be able to get out to the ICW via the Old Ferry Channel. And to that end, if the town decides to do any dredging, I'm willing to be a participant and a partner in that effort. Now, Manatee Investments owns property at the south end of Manatee Street. And several of you might have noticed big piles of dirt there. Well, they're not for me. They don't belong to me, these piles of dirt. I did a favor for a contractor who was hired to dig out a marina and gave him a place to offload the spoil from a very shallow area. And as soon as it dries out, that spoil will be trucked away. Some people have objected to looking at the piles. It's just necessary. What are any of us going to do if we have shallow water and need to remove sand that has blown in from the inlet eastward and is blocking our water access? So that's one thing. If the town decides to dredge in that area or other areas, I will be willing to help to allow offloading the spoil on Manatee property And as soon as it dries out, somebody can truck it off. That's pretty much it. Be glad to help, glad to cooperate. I don't want them to bring it out on the ramp at Live Oak because I just spent a fortune putting sod down, and I'm not going to put spoil on top of that sod. But if I can help the town continue to have water access, particularly if we're going to put 9 boat slips and rent them, and people can't get out to the ICW right there, what are we going to do? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Max.
Board, usually, just in case you don't know, when people have their 3 minutes, say whatever you want. And board usually does not respond to your comments, but I will just say Gene's already ahead of that ball game. So we're looking at it. We have some other people with some issues later. So we're aware of it and we're trying to get it taken care of. Thank you for your concern. All right, moving right along. Lauren Birch.
Good evening, Mayor and board members. My name is Lauren Birch. I'm a resident of Cape Carteret. I've lived in Carteret County my entire life, and I care deeply about our community and the decisions that shape its future. I wasn't planning to speak tonight, but when I learned that prohibiting backyard chickens was being considered, I felt it was important to share the perspective of a responsible chicken owner. I have invested significant time, effort, and money into building a proper coop and run, providing quality care for my hens. My hens provide fresh eggs for my family year-round, and I have cared for my hens every day for years. At a time when many families are looking for ways to stretch their grocery budgets, backyard chickens provide a reliable local food resource. I respectfully ask the board to consider the impact of taking away something that my family has relied upon for years. My hens also help reduce household waste by turning kitchen scraps into fresh eggs for my family. I also enjoy sharing these benefits with others. In fact, the eggs from my hens have found their way into many deviled eggs served at luncheons at Cape Carteret Presbyterian Church. While that may seem like a small thing, it's an important example of how backyard chickens can positively contribute to our community because they sure are delicious. I understand that concerns may exist. I also recognize that my situation may be somewhat different because I do not have residential neighbors. To my knowledge, I have never received a complaint regarding my chickens, and I am not a nuisance. Regarding rodents, I can only speak from my personal experience. I have not had a rat problem because I store my feed properly. I maintain my coop responsibly. I practice good animal care. If rodents are a concern, I believe the solution is to encourage proper food storage rather than prohibit backyard chickens altogether. Rats are attracted to accessible food resources, whether that's pet food, garbage, bird feeders, commercial dumpsters, or improperly stored chicken feed. The key issue is responsible food storage and sanitation, not the mere presence of chickens. If there are concerns about a small number of chicken owners, I respectfully ask that we address the problem rather than prohibit responsible ownership altogether. Responsible owners should not be punished. I would also ask the board to consider the educational value that chickens provide. White Oak Elementary School, they are located within our town. They hatch chickens, they maintain their hens as part of an educational opportunity for students. Now, I did notice in the agenda packet PDF presented on the town's website for this meeting, an article titled Backyard Chicken Laws in North Carolina, What Every Flock Owner Must Know. Before adopting new restrictions, I would encourage the town to rely on current guidance from the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services rather than secondary websites. One example, I spoke with the NC Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. They stated the NC Farm ID is only voluntary now. This form was mandated for backyard chickens in 2015 and 2017 during a large outbreak. I believe our community has always been strongest when neighbors work together to solve the problems rather than eliminate opportunities. I respectfully ask the board to consider alternatives than a complete ban and to work with the residents to find a balanced solution that protects our neighborhoods while preserving the rights of responsible chicken owners. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your service to our town and your consideration.
Thank you. All right, next up is Pauline Britton.
We, the people, no longer live in a country where the government is for the people and by the people like our founding fathers intended. We are already overburdened by laws and ordinances. We need to change this. Any discussion regarding chickens will not be positive. I believe that chickens on the agenda is a result of a recent situation when my neighbor's chicken escaped its enclosure. The police were called to locate its owner. It would be reprehensible if the commissioners voted to pass an ordinance banning backyard chickens because one person was offended. White Oak Elementary has a STEM program. The school has a hands-on chicken agricultural initiative that includes an on-campus chicken coop. Children are learning how to feed and care for a flock of chickens. Wouldn't that encourage more parents to consider a backyard coop? Some years ago, a few people were offended by kids having too much fun at the community pier, what followed was the town decided to put up signs banning kids under the age of 16 to play at the town parks without adult supervision. When I moved here 25 years ago, there was no such rule, and my kids and their friends could fish on the pier freely. This town has around 2,700 residents, and approximately 730 are kids under 18. How many of those kids are under 16 and not allowed to enjoy the town parks freely to fish, have lunch, or gather together? We, the people, need to pay attention to what new ordinances are being discussed. It is our right and our duty to voice our concerns. My neighbor lives in his deceased parents' home. His deceased father's estate has not been settled yet. His father's car is parked in the front yard and received a complaint. This issue regarding the car has already been discussed and voted by the commissioners. An appeal by my neighbor was granted. When does the harassment stop? Is this the kind of neighborhood we all want? This car is not defined as an abandoned or junk vehicle under the North Carolina General Statutes 160A-303.1, which the town adopted. Just because the vehicle tag is expired does not deem it abandoned or junked and required to be removed. The North Carolina General Statutes definition of an abandoned vehicle is left on a street or highway in violation of law or ordinance, left on property owned or operated by the city for longer than 24 hours, left on private property without the consent of the owner, left on a public street for longer than 7 days. A junked vehicle is an abandoned vehicle, according to the North Carolina General Statute. Just because my deceased neighbor's vehicle does not have a current license plate on it does not deem it to be an abandoned or junked vehicle. Hold on. Oh, I'm wasting my time here. The town ordinance defining a junked motor vehicle does not match the general statutes defined, the North Carolina General Statutes definition of a junk vehicle. This needs to be corrected. The town ordinance states that a junked vehicle is one that does not have a current license plate, and it doesn't say or, it says and, is partially dismantled or wrecked, cannot be self-propelled or moved in a manner that it was intended, is more than 5 years old and worth less than $100. My neighbor's vehicle does not fit the description of an abandoned or junk vehicle. I encourage all residents of this town to read the ordinances and the North Carolina General Statutes so that you can avoid any harassment by neighbors who don't like what is sitting on your private property. Commissioners must avoid the appearance of impropriety. If the situation looks biased to a reasonable observer, the commissioner should publicly disclose the relationship and potentially recuse themselves. I'm just like tired of all this thing about the car of my neighbor. He is very sick and he is out of town, and he is in a health crisis right now, and his father's estate is not settled. He can't do a thing about that car right now. And anybody can drive down that road on Holly Lane and look around at the town, the houses on that street, and see if there are any differences in anybody else's yard. My yard, I have all kinds of vehicles on my front yard. They have tags on them, but they're still in the front yard. And who goes and looks at other people's parked vehicles and looks at their tag and then runs the tag to see if they're registered or not? I think it's just ridiculous that this town, there's people in this town that are doing this kind of stuff to peaceful neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up is the consent agenda.
Motion to adopt consent agenda.
All right, second.
Second.
All right, all in favor? And Public Works Quarterly Report. Where's Ryan? There he is.
Evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I'm just going to give you a brief Public Works update from January up until now. And moving forward, we'd like to try to give you an update about every 3 months and turn it into a quarterly report. Start out with the most popular service I believe Public Works provides is our vegetative debris report. We offer it 6 times a year. We completed a pickup in February and April, and we're in the process of finishing our pickup that began in June. In February, we had 190 collection points with 9 truckloads disposed. In April, we had 484 collection points with 33 trucks disposed. And currently, we're at 338 collection points and 13 dumps. Next pickup will be August 3rd, October 5th, and December 7th. Bulk item pickup contracted out with GFL. The first pickup was around Easter this year, and our next pickup is September 5th. The beginning of the year, we had some Public Works staff performance evaluations. We completed, set goals and accomplishments for the staff to focus on this year. Been working on park improvements, just general cleanup, brush trimming, improved parking areas, wash vinyl fencing, signage, and just give the parks a better image. Boat ramp repairs and improvements, Manatee Street, replaced several dock boards down there, improved parking areas, scraped oysters off the pilings, and regraded the parking lot. Bayshore Park, we leveled the parking area, seeded and strawed, installed rub rails on the floating dock, scraped oysters from the pilings, and trimmed the vegetation along the waterfront. And at each location, we added portable toilets to each facility until the season ends. Our ditch easement and maintenance, we've been weed eating vegetation in ditches, using our mower on our excavator to get ditch banks. And over the past several years, we have acquired several easements, such as Sutton Drive in the golf course area, Arden Oaks, Starlight Drive, and the area between Bogue Sound Drive and Lejeune Drive, trying to clean that up in general. Trail maintenance, we've been working on edging and weed eating the trail edges, blowing off debris with our ride-on blower, and spraying herbicide. Big thanks to the Big Rock Foundation for the funds for that blower. Been working on our right-of-way mowing. As far as right-of-ways, they are on North Carolina 24, 58, and Taylor Ocean Road, and in our neighborhoods. DOT improvements, which you're well aware about, up here on Highway 24 and 58, which is coming up this fall. Taylor Ocean Road roundabout, they just finished resurfacing Highway 24, and everything you see behind McDonald's is water company relocating the water line. Powellville paving projects, Coastline Contracting was awarded the contract to repave streets in town. They completed the project in Bayshore Park, and this year we're going to work to identify areas to pave this year. And along with that, we've had many asphalt repairs and potholes, whether that be with cold patch or actual asphalt we get from the plant. Building maintenance orders, doing some minor plumbing, electrical, and small handyman type repairs in these buildings and HVAC repairs. Hurricane and stormwater prep, been testing stormwater pumps and maintain all of our equipment that could be useful for in a storm like that. Generator maintenance in town hall and maintaining all of our stormwater systems. Every now and then we'll pick up deceased deer and roadkill along the side of the roads to keep our roads clear. Signs, we've installed several new street signs in town, and along with many regulatory and warning signs. We recently just took delivery of playground equipment from the Sarah James Fulcher Foundation, and we look forward to putting that up this month. And over the past several months, we've sold two pieces of surplus equipment at Public Works and have one on auction right now. And that's about all of it is in the nutshell. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
What did you sell?
I'm sorry?
What did you sell?
We sold a bush hog mower, the old F350, and we have the 1998 Massey Ferguson, hopefully to get sold next.
That one was parked out front of Yard Works.
No, ours is in our shop right now. Yep. Yep, govdeals.com.
That's a lot. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, bud. I really do. The whole town does.
It looks great.
It looks beautiful. Thanks for that signage too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian.
Appreciate you. All right, next up is public hearing for the FY 2026-27 budget. We have to, do we do two public hearings or just one for vote? Just one? Okay, just want to make sure I get it, doing everything right here. All right, so I entertain a motion to go into public hearing.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? All right, we are now in public hearing. Do we have anybody want to say anything? Anybody here? All right, then we'll entertain a motion to go out of the public hearing and back into the regular session.
The motion.
Okay, second.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Thank you. All right, we are back in regular session. But we do need to adopt them separately, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll need two different motions, one for the regular vote and one for the fee schedule. We'll start with the budget ordinance.
I'll make a motion to adopt the budget ordinance.
Okay. Second? Second. All in favor? All opposed? All right, now we have the fee schedule.
I'll make the motion to adopt the fee schedule.
Thank you, Eric. All right, second?
Second.
All right. All in favor? All opposed? All right, next up, something that's ruffled some feathers, obviously, is the discussion of chickens in town. Commissioner Monroe, please take your position.
Can I ask a question first?
I'm sorry.
Well, can I ask Mr. Monroe a question, please?
Sure.
Mr. Monroe, how long have you lived in our town? 3.5 years?
5.
Okay. Where were you when we had the chicken debate a year or so ago?
I was probably working down in Florida.
Well, you know, you're wasting a lot of people's time with your discussion. And for one, since I was the person in charge of the planning board that put chickens in the town, I find it very disturbing that you're bringing this back up. And you're not being a very good town manager. Town commissioner, excuse me.
Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. So I don't know if anybody noticed, but discussion of chickens was on the agenda. Nobody's talking about prohibiting chickens. I don't know where that came from. So information came to me that it was mandatory North Carolina Farm ID entries. So I wanted to make sure that we were in compliance with that as per Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. If your research, Lauren, led that it's not mandatory, we'll have to take another look at making sure that the flock owners register. So that's about 75% of the chicken discussion. Here's the other 25%. My next door neighbor has chickens. I never see them. I never hear them. And occasionally he brings me chicken eggs, and they are delicious. I like them. So I'm not anti-chicken or chicken eggs. And what you said, Lauren, is about another 20% of the 25% that I was going to cover. All the things you should do as a responsible flock owner. So we looked at some of the metrics. The metrics are there's 1,170 homes in Cape Carteret. There are 9 registered flock owners. There are probably a few more that are not registered, but there's 9 registered flock owners. Of the 9, 6 are on one street in Old Carteret. So with 75% of the town not able to have chickens and the other 25% able to have chickens in Old Carteret specifically, 2/3 of them are on one street. So there's a little bit of a balance problem in the town with that, okay? And that's fine. But when complaints arise, the town should have a method to address those complaints. There should be an established process for addressing the concerns of people that don't have chickens or any other nuisance type thing in the town. It's all the same thing. So that was the only reason for discussion. And the last thing that I wanted to ask was, where do we want to be in 5 years or 10 years as the town continues to grow and becomes more populated? is that something that we want to continue to allow in the town without a restriction, like many municipalities do have restrictions on the size of the lots, the setbacks, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the only reason it's on the agenda. So I'd open it up for any other discussion. If anybody else wants to say anything, that's the only reason I put it on there.
Me? No.
I think Lauren covered most of it. I believe in property rights, but I also believe that with property rights comes a responsibility. And it's just like owning a dog or a boat or a vehicle. I mean, if the speed limit is 25, I'm going to go 45 because I want to go 45. I mean, we got to follow rules, and we have rules if you live in a town. I live in a homeowners association, and I chose that. But if you live in a town, you have to follow your rules that your town has set. I didn't set these rules, the town did. So that's kind of where I'm at. And this issue is just whether the rules we have are reasonable and enforceable and applied equally to everyone. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
I'd agree. I mean, how are we enforcing the ordinance that we currently have?
So typically, any enforcement that we've done, we've had some folks come in and get chicken permits. It's been very few in the last year I've been here, but we've had a couple, have one of them in the audience, met with, yep, there she is, and issued a permit for chickens. So typically, unless we get a complaint on these chickens, we're not going out. These chickens are in people's backyards.
Yeah.
But as far as a code violation standpoint, there's laws and guidance that we have to go by, and not going in people's backyard to look for things. So just as a standard practice, I don't do that, right? So unless we receive a complaint, we typically don't know these chickens are here. Unless one of the neighbors calls and says there's chickens, we go out. We knock on the front door, we meet with people, we advise them of the ordinance, come in and got the permit. That's it. That's all.
You know, we're not out there hunting for people's chickens. Somebody comes to us or calls us or texts us or emails us, and then we come to G.
So how does the complaint process work if you're a neighbor and you make a complaint? They just come into the town, or they contact a commissioner, or, and you know, that's what I'm assuming that's kind of what the issue is, right? Is people don't understand if they have an issue and they talk to their neighbor and they can't solve it there, then how.
So
What do they do?
typically the best way is to call town hall,
Right?
right?
Okay.
And report a violation of code. That's how we typically receive these violations. Is people call town hall and tell us that they're having a problem with that. We'll go out and again, knock on the front door, talk to the folks and try to work with them to get the violation, you know, within the realm of the ordinance.
Okay.
So once again, we're talking about chickens.
Well,
We just passed one of the worst budgets I've ever seen in my life. And now we're talking about chickens. Okay. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. How many complaints have you had personally?
Very few,
Okay.
very few.
Leave these people alone. They complied with the ordinance to start with. If there's a problem, first of all, commissioners have no code enforcement authority. They can't run children out of parks. They can't go on people's property and say, hey, no code enforcement. That's that man right over there and that chief and his department right back there.
So you swore to.
I agree to be
you swore to
perfect.
oath.
I'm talking
follow
here.
the
I
rules.
agree to
So
be
you're making
that
them up as you
that
go.
the owners of chickens need to be responsible owners. I understand, but they have complied with the ordinance before they even put the chickens, bought the chickens. So I hope this is the last time this ever comes up. Just because one neighbor is mad at another neighbor, it's what it's all about. So I've already done my work about my investigation about that. So hopefully this is the last time we talk about chickens, for God's sake. Come on.
So that's all I wanted to say about it was just be a good neighbor and make sure you're following the rules. And if there's a complaint process, the town knows what it's doing. So that's it.
All right, without any more discussion, we'll move on. Dave, you can keep talking because the next one is a discussion of implementing a comprehensive plan.
So slightly more important, but comprehensive plan for the town. I think it's very important that the town develops one. I would like to propose that we follow the same
Guys,
agenda.
Please be quiet in the audience. We're up here talking. You need
I
to
would
have
like-
a conversation, please go ahead.
I would like to propose that we follow the same agenda and process that we did with the budget in terms of having open meetings, maybe several meetings throughout the late summer, early fall, to put together a comprehensive plan for the town. So I'd like to open for discussion if anybody wants to talk about that. That's a capital improvement plan.
Yeah, so I agree with you. The comprehensive plan would be a longer term plan where the town's gonna go as we're growing huge, right? We're getting really big, really fast. So
Eric, I've been calling for 20 years.
there you go. With
Okay.
it, yeah.
And this is the first time in 20 years we've had a manager or a board that was given a 5-year plan, period, end of subject. Okay? I think Gene's doing a hell of a job.
Why are you so angry?
I'm not angry. Okay? I'm not angry. I just hate going over stuff 3 and 4 times.
That's her job.
It's our job. We hired a man to do his job.
That's right. But what I think this would be is to be really transparent with the public, right? Hey, this is where we are for 5 years. This is where we're looking for 10, 20 years. You know, so it's not a surprise to anybody. Hey, this is the direction we're growing. This is what we want it to look like. If you don't like that, please, hey, you got time to come in here and say, hey, I don't like the way this town is growing. Why are you even thinking about putting, say you don't want another fast food spot. Why are we even thinking about putting another fast food spot? Or so on and so forth, right? Do we want a Holiday Inn here? Or do we want this or that? This would kind of help us have a solid plan, know where our money is going to go, know what grants we can look for, different things that we can do, right? And you got the 5-year, 5-year plan is great. Now we need to do an extended plan as well. And I think that's all this is, just planning for the future.
I think this is something that hasn't been done before. I mean, has been done before, but, and I'll say once again, I mean, I don't know how much time you're talking about putting in, effort you're talking about putting in it. I kind of agree with it, but if it takes too much of our town manager's time, I'd be against it. But for one reason, because in the past, even with the capital improvement plan, we come up with some great plans, and then the next board comes in and kills it. So that's something that happens quite often, and then all your time's wasted. So be real, I'd be interested in talking about it. But
Yeah. So I guess that would be back to you, Gene, on how much time you think it would take, and maybe come back next month and be like, all right, I think we could put something together and set amount of meetings. I thought the way we did the budget meeting was fantastic, right? Thinking that might be a good.
well, I mean, and I'll be wanting to hear what Gene's experience has been with the comprehensive plans and stuff.
I've done a good bit of comprehensive planning, and I could put together a schedule, kind of a framework if you'd like, bring it back next month. That's the will of the board.
Yeah.
Why not?
Sounds good to me.
We can do that.
Thank you, Bill.
All right.
Thank you for doing the job.
Thank you.
More discussion on that. We'll move on to the consideration of adopt a bench program. Gene?
We need to make a motion on.
No.
Okay.
No motion,
No,
no ma'am.
Sorry.
So I'll be fairly brief with this. This is something we've talked about kind of in passing. I think all of us have talked about it in passing over the last year or so with an adopt a bench program. From time to time, we'll have a citizen come in or some other interested party interested in doing something here in the town, either to honor or memorialize a loved one or someone else. And we didn't have a formal process for this, right? So most of this interest comes not only around the park, but around the trail as well. And so what you have before you tonight is just kind of a formalized program for that. So if somebody comes in, we have a protocol and something, if you came in and wanted to adopt a bench, we could tell you how much it costs. We've researched that and then suggest some locations that would be beneficial to the public here in town. So that's what you have is kind of a memorialized document there for that program. Be glad to answer any questions you have about it.
How much is a bench?
About $1,300.
Didn't we used to have a bench program at 2,500 when we started the trail?
So I'm not certain about that. I've not seen anything that was ever memorialized. There could have been a program that
I
wasn't.
poured at least 8 pads for the town.
Yes, sir.
Benches and donated them. So I know the program's well deserving, and they were all paid for out of my pocket for the concrete, and the benches was Deanna getting people to sponsor the benches.
Yes, sir. I think it's a great program. I think it's a great
I'd
program,
love to see more out there.
for sure, for sure.
You need any action or anything, or?
If y'all want to make a motion to adopt this, that's
Okay.
good. Or if you just by consensus want me to move it forward, I'm glad to do that as well.
I'm good with
So that's
moving
what
forward.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, we'll publish this then and let everybody know this is out there if anybody wants to take advantage of it. So,
You have your consensus, sir.
thank you,
Hey, Gene,
sir.
how many service flags do we have out now?
Ooh, I wish you hadn't asked me that on the spot.
Ryan, how many are out this year? Our service flags.
Military banners?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't have the exact number, but I think it's around between 80 and 100.
Okay. I mean, I would like to see that kind of program for the benches.
I think that would be very beneficial,
Yeah.
for sure. So, and what they'll look like is similar to what's at Arden Oaks, out in front of Arden Oaks right now. Kind of standardized bench.
I'll do one.
So the trees that are going to go down the 58, the trees,
Right.
that's still
We're still looking
ongoing?
for funding for that. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. We have the encouragement with DOT, have the locations marked and everything else. So.
All right, thanks, Gene. Next up is regional sewer study.
All right, I'll be brief on this. You see, in your packet, there's a resolution. I know sewer has been something that's talked about here in the town for a lot of years. The state of North Carolina has made a big push the last several to regionalize both water and sewer, not to duplicate services, to have one big plant serving a lot of different areas. We've had some conversations with the town of Newport. Of course, Newport has sewer capacity. They have availability of land and other things. And so we want to look at working with them and others to look at regionalization of sewer here in Western Carter County. So, there's no commitment from the town other than our time in looking at this, and I think we'll garner some really good results. If nothing else, data on what it would take to make something happen here in Western Carter County. So, yes, sir.
I spent about 4 years chasing sewer, as Bill will attest to. Our problem is, I hate to be racial about it, it's way too white. We don't have enough minorities in our town to get funding from either the state or the federal government. I was told that by USDA and the state, politely. But I'd be all for sewer.
Yes.
Maybe
Maybe
you're
this-
absolutely right, John. I was told the same thing. This is where the word regionalization sort of gets you up above that.
Well, I hope we can get it.
Hopefully this will get us on the radar for that.
I know I'm
No,
Watson,
that's a comprehensive
this
plan.
is too cheap.
Do you need a,
Yes, sir. If you would, if y'all are interested in moving forward with this, just a motion
Motion
to
to
adopt
approve
this
the
resolution. Yes, sir.
resolution?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to move forward with it.
Okay, second.
A second.
All right, all in favor? Okay. All right, keep going, Gene. Town manager's report.
I'll be exceptionally brief tonight. So just wanted to mention a couple things. We did a spotlight on our town parks in this last month's newsletter. You think about it, you think about all the little parks we have, and it's really impressive when you figure out we've got 16 of them. You don't think about all of those facilities here. And really want to express my appreciation to the Sarah James Fulcher Foundation. Of course, James was here with us and talked about that. Ryan and I and the rest of the public works staff rode and picked up all of our equipment the other day. It was 2 trucks and trailers load of equipment. So as Ryan mentioned, you start seeing that out in front of the public workshop as a public playground here for the children in Cape Carter. So we're looking at a multi-year initiative with them. So they've expressed interest in coming back at least the next 2 years and doing more with us to provide those opportunities. So really thankful for them and what they do here in our community. So that's really great. Next thing I have is I want to introduce Andrew Hernandez. Where's Andrew? Andrew, stand up. He's the best dressed man in the room. So Andrew is our new intern. Andrew is at Western Carolina. We're really thankful for his efforts here with the town. He's been with us about 3 weeks now. Been with us about 3 weeks, so he's shadowing me a lot, and working with all the different departments, and we're thankful for him and want to welcome him here to town. So I know he's got a bright future. So that's all I have tonight, Mayor.
Dave Fowler was a catamount.
Former mayor who he's talking about.
Mayor.
Yeah,
And he's buried on the university, by the way,
yeah, that's right.
on top of the mountain where the graveyard is.
Yep. God rest his soul.
Any questions or comments for Gene? If not, we'll move into the commissioner reports. Commissioner Martin, kick it off.
Well, I got a couple comments here. I just, guys, it's not easy maintaining the small town appeal that you guys all moved here. You see that time and time again, especially when we start discussing issues that are real personal to people, like chickens and pets and whatnot. So, we don't always get everything right, but we try. Things are a lot better now than they were when I was elected the first time in 2017. We didn't have a professional form of government. The commissioners actually ran the departments. Think about that nightmare. Yeah. We're just fortunate now that we have a professional, and I led the charge, but I was crucified on that by a lot of people back in 2018, publicly, but we won, didn't we, Will?
Got me elected.
So, yeah, so change of government has worked out good for this town, and made the commissioner's jobs a lot easier. Basically, we're just eye candy sitting up here raising our hand. That's Gene and his staff does all the work. I want to thank Gene and the staff for the work that you did on the budget. The majority of the board always rules. The majority directed you what they wanted. Majority vote 3-2. I voted against it. I have my reasons. I'm not going to discuss those now. But you did what you were asked to do, and kudos to you and your staff. You did a great job. I do want to mention something that I mentioned before. I don't know what it's going to take for the county to open their eyes and purchase a piece of property for a future campus of White Oak School. I got a call the other day from several citizens who have kids over there. They got letters evidently, and I can't verify this. I didn't take the time to verify it, from the school saying their graduation ceremonies or whatever their award ceremonies they have over there, only immediate family because of parking restrictions could attend. That's sad. That's sad, folks. There's two parcels of property. McNeil's own one, and I think, of course, Paxton, she owns everything, but the Piners, I believe, own a parcel that will accommodate a campus. In my mind, the way property is getting going here, the county needs to step up and work with the state and buy a piece of property and sit on it. That's just me. I'm getting off my soapbox now, so that's all I got to say.
Hey,
I don't have really anything except the Carolina Museum of the Marine opened today. It's a spectacular museum over in Onslow County. Took 26 years to build that, of continuous effort, and they really did a nice job. So it's open for business, and that's all I have.
It is beautiful. I want to thank Ryan. Best town looked in years. And I just want to say thank you. I got to compliment you and your crew, because you have one heck of a job and you deliver well. Gene and the staff, thank you for all the hard work that you did putting into the budget. I want to thank Chief. I love hearing the sirens on 24 over the weekend. That's all I'll say about that. And I want to thank all the town people that came out to speak tonight on the issues. And I hope y'all still keep coming out and giving us guidance, because we need to hear you tell us what you want. That's our job. That's all I got to say.
All right. Well, like John, I'm glad everyone came out tonight and speak and let us know your perspective But I would like to say about the budget, we had 2 budget meetings. 3 commissioners participated and 2 did not. And 1 didn't show up. So if you had a
Yeah, because my
problem,
mother was sick.
if you had a problem
And I was
and you left
excused.
early, if you had a problem, you should have said it then and had conversations and engaged with us. But you chose not to. You chose to sit in the back and pout. So whatever that is, you don't want to tell us how we're supposed to read your mind. Anyway, so something positive. Police department, you guys are rocking it out there. I mean, you guys are knocking it out of the park. So making it a lot safer out there. Every morning, y'all just catch them. So thanks. Our kids are out for the summer now. We have a lot of electric bikes and scooters. Just to be mindful, maybe put something in the newsletter. We got the ice cream trucks now. But I see a lot of kids out. I see a lot of people using the multi-use path, which is awesome. So just be mindful, and thank you guys for all your hard work. And Ryan, everything looks great. Appreciate you guys. And as far as town staff, you guys are I'm calling and texting you guys all the time. I know I'm aggravating y'all, but you guys are on it, and a lot of the residents are really happy with the service we're providing for them. As far as that is, that's it. Hope y'all have a wonderful weekend coming up. I'll be in Greensboro. I serve as a North Carolina state delegate. So I'll be up there working hard to try to get things done for our area. So I've been a state delegate since 2012. So.
Well, I don't have anybody left to thank, so I'll thank our lawyer. I appreciate you.
I was going to do that.
Nope, I got it. No, Ms. Holtz, I really do appreciate you coming out and speaking in your offer for the dredge spoils. That's really nice of you. Thank you. Ms. Birch, thank you as well. Exactly what you're saying, being a responsible owner is essentially what I believe the whole conversation was driving towards. So thank you for that. Ms. Britton, you're here all the time, and I really appreciate it. Whether it's for me or against me, or I don't even see it a me thing, but you speak in your mind and standing your ground is exactly what we need to see. So thank you so much for doing that and showing up. Everybody else, thank you for being here tonight. Like this is how we determine what we do in our community. If you don't know it's something that's happening, it's because you're not here or you don't read the minutes or you just don't know, because we are really transparent. Before I even took this office, that's the whole thing. I was like, oh, we got to be transparent. We got to be transparent. We're transparent. We have it all online. It's on YouTube. It's everywhere. So please just, our website is awesome. Our town staff, it hooks that website up. If you have any questions, you can almost just search anything in there. You'll be able to find the way that was voted on, what was done, the minutes, everything. So it's all there for you, you to consume and ask questions when needed. Yeah, other than that, thanks for coming out. This is great. And I think we're going to move in a great direction. Doing that comprehensive plan, the long-term plan keeps us focused, allows you guys opportunity to come and let your voice be heard. And yeah, I think we're really moving in a good direction. Whether we all agree or not, that doesn't matter. We're moving forward, So thank you. God bless. Summer just started, so kids are going to be out and about running them up. That's it. That's all I got. Back over to you.
Pretty much just have to reiterate all the positive things that they were saying. When it comes to the budget, that's always trying to look in a crystal ball. Nobody knows how things are going to be, but the town's duty is to keep your money in your pocket as much as possible. And that's where I sit on the fence sometimes. Maybe we should raise taxes, maybe not, but we haven't raised taxes since I've been mayor. I had absolutely nothing to do with that. That's these guys and this guy right here, who I'd have to say is probably the best town manager this town's seen. And amazing job, Gene and staff, Heather, where's she at? Everybody, just awesome job working. And Jeff back here, I could been here all night talking great about you guys, but just amazing job our staff does. So we're not raising your taxes again this year. We're going to toe the line. We'll see how it goes. And these are the hard decisions that these people have to make. But the lot I love to see is everybody in here. I love to see people coming here, whether you're for or against whatever the issue is. Get your voice heard. That's what it's all about. We're a very small town. And when chickens and golf carts are your biggest problems, how blessed are we to be in this great town? That's all I got to say. And I'd love to entertain a motion to adjourn. Second. All right. All in favor? Y'all have a great day. Happy 4th of July and 250th anniversary. And thank you, Mary Ann, for being here.